I know this is one of the best weeks of our lives here. We come here and we see everybody we know, but also, be part of the event. So who knows what Cambridge have in store for next year? I'm curious, but it's going to be hard to beat. So, but so far so good.
Oh, Dan.
Caitlin Clark just broke the internet with one golf swing, and somewhere in a corporate boardroom, WNBA sponsors are absolutely losing their minds. A leaked memo from a major WNBA partner reveals the sheer panic happening behind closed doors as their biggest investment walks away from basketball and straight into the arms of golf. The memo, obtained from inside sources, shows executives scrambling to figure out what went wrong. Clark's appearance at the Annika Pro-Am wasn't just some casual celebrity golf outing. This was a full-blown sports earthquake that has sponsors questioning every dollar they've pumped into women's basketball. Here's where it gets interesting. The leaked document reveals that sponsors had been warning WNBA leadership for months about Clark's treatment.
I honestly just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA, because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
One executive wrote that watching Clark get fouled into oblivion while the league stayed silent was like watching their marketing budget get flushed down the drain. The numbers don't lie either. Within hours of Clark's golf debut, social media engagement around the LPGA skyrocketed by 400%. Meanwhile, WNBA content was getting crickets. Sponsors noticed immediately when their golf-related posts started outperforming basketball content by massive margins. But wait, there's more. The memo specifically mentions how the LPGA managed to capture lightning in a bottle while the WNBA couldn't even hold onto their own star player. Golf executives understood what the basketball league apparently didn't, that Clark's star power transcends any single sport. Corporate partners are now questioning the WNBA's entire marketing strategy. The leaked communication shows sponsors asking pointed questions about why they should continue funding a league that can't protect its most valuable asset. One particularly brutal line reads that investing in the WNBA feels like betting on a team that actively works against its own success. The golf world, meanwhile, rolled out the red carpet. They put cameras everywhere, gave Clark prime placement, and treated her appearance like the major event it was.
The LPGA understand what's great for business. Not what's good for business, what's great. It'd be nice if the WNBA could get with the program. It'd be nice if you didn't allow your greatest asset to get beat up and hacked and fouled 94 feet and be targeted since day one of stepping into the league. It'd be nice, it'd be smart, you'd be better off, but you guys are gonna do what you want to do.
The contrast couldn't be more obvious, and sponsors are taking notes. The reality check is brutal. Clark's golf appearance generated more positive press in one day than the WNBA managed during entire playoff stretches. Sponsors watched their basketball investments generate controversy, while their golf-adjacent content sparked genuine excitement and engagement. This leaked memo represents more than just corporate frustration. It's a wake-up call that the WNBA's most important business partners are ready to jump ship if things don't change fast. Clark's golf debut wasn't just about trying a new sport, it was about showing the world what happens when talent meets proper appreciation. Now let's dive deeper into this mess. The LPGA didn't just welcome Caitlin Clark, they absolutely nailed every single detail while the WNBA watched their golden goose fly away. The contrast is so embarrassing that sponsors are literally questioning how professional sports organizations can operate this differently. The LPGA treated Clark's debut like the television event it deserved to be. They arranged live coverage, positioned cameras at every angle, and made sure millions of viewers could watch in real time.
What that could do for their sport. They understand that let's say 1,000 new eyeballs, 10,000 new eyeballs show up. If only they could get a fraction of those new eyeballs to become fans, they understand that's a win. They understand that that's a bonus. They understand that's not the opportunity that comes across them every single day. So they need to capitalize on this moment. We also had the speaking engagement that Caitlin Clark took part in last season. I'm assuming we're going to run it all back. We're going to run it all back. We're going to have the speaking engagement, the panel.
Compare that to the WNBA's approach of barely acknowledging when Clark breaks records or gets hammered by opponents without calls. Golf Channel executives knew they had something special and acted accordingly. They cleared their programming schedule, brought in top commentators, and treated a rookie golfer with more respect than the basketball league showed their Rookie of the Year. The leaked sponsor memo specifically highlights this professional contrast as a major red flag. Here's what really stings for basketball executives. The LPGA paired Clark with Nelly Korda, one of their biggest stars, creating instant content gold. Meanwhile, the WNBA spent months letting other players take cheap shots at Clark while pretending everything was perfectly normal.
So bringing all these eyeballs and, the Caitlin Clark effect that we talk about, viewership, money, all of those things. All of the people who were shouting this for the entire WNBA season, this is an instance where we are proved correct. You see her at this event, you see the kind of noise that this is making, you see that this is trending on social media, you see that SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, all of these places, every media outlet is covering this, and you don't say anything. That's what we were talking about this whole season. We were correct. The fans that were saying that the WNBA seems to be trying to quiet the noise of Caitlin Clark, not letting her shine to her full ability, and not, in turn, not helping your own players in the league, we were right. And this event proved it because the LPGA did literally everything correct. They capitalized on the moment. They found a way to put it on television. They allowed people to be there. Caitlin was signing autographs. They put their best golfer.
Sponsors watched this happening and started questioning their partnership decisions. The numbers tell an even uglier story for women's basketball. Clark's golf content generated more social media buzz in 4 hours than most WNBA playoff games managed in entire weeks. Executives at major brands noticed immediately when their golf-related posts started crushing basketball content and engagement metrics. But the real kicker comes next. Tiger Woods himself praised Clark's natural swing and competitive spirit.
So amazing. She's so sweet, so nice. It was nice to kind of get to spend some time with her. We've messaged a little on Instagram beforehand, but to get to spend some time with her and to see the influence that she has on people, bringing people out here.
When was the last time any WNBA legend publicly celebrated Clark without adding some backhanded qualifier about paying dues or earning respect? The golf world embraced her immediately, while basketball kept finding reasons to diminish her impact. The leaked memo reveals that sponsors have been tracking these perception differences for months. One particularly damning section notes how golf personalities treated Clark like a welcomed guest, while basketball figures continued treating her like an unwanted intrusion. Corporate partners are paying attention to these dynamics because they directly impact brand association value. What makes this situation worse is how effortlessly the LPGA capitalized on the moment. They understood that Clark's crossover appeal could bring new eyeballs to their sport, so they maximized every opportunity. The WNBA had an entire season to figure this out and somehow managed to fumble repeatedly. Golf executives coordinated autograph sessions, media availability, and photo opportunities that created lasting positive content. Basketball leadership spent that same energy defending controversial referee calls and downplaying attendance boosts that Clark generated single-handedly. The sponsor memo concludes this section by noting how the LPGA demonstrated textbook sports marketing while the WNBA provided a masterclass in wasted opportunities. Corporate partners are questioning whether they should shift their women's sports investments toward organizations that actually understand how to promote their talent properly. The plot thickens even more. Tiger Woods didn't just politely acknowledge Caitlin Clark's golf skills, he went full fanboy mode while WNBA veterans continued their cold shoulder routine. The leaked sponsor documents reveal that corporate partners are tracking these celebrity endorsements because they directly translate to brand value and marketing opportunities. Woods called Clark a natural athlete with serious potential, praising her competitive fire and work ethic. This came from arguably the greatest golfer ever, offering genuine respect without any conditions or qualifications. Meanwhile, WNBA legends spent months explaining why Clark needed to earn her stripes before deserving any real recognition. The contrast became painfully obvious when Nelly Korda posted Instagram stories celebrating their partnership. Korda treated Clark like an equal competitor worth learning from, not some rookie who needed constant reality checks. Compare that to how WNBA stars approached Clark all season, with barely concealed resentment and endless lectures about paying dues. moves. Here's where the sponsor panic really kicks in. Corporate executives watched golf personalities generate positive headlines while basketball figures created controversy after controversy. The leaked memo specifically mentions how brands prefer associating with sports that celebrate rising talent instead of tearing it down systematically. Golf Channel announcers spent the entire broadcast highlighting Clark's athletic versatility and competitive mindset. They focused on her potential and natural ability rather than questioning whether she belonged there. WNBA broadcasts, meanwhile, often felt like damage control sessions where commentators had to explain away obvious targeting and questionable officiating. But wait until you hear this part. Multiple golf pros approached Clark during the event offering practice sessions and mentorship opportunities. These established athletes saw her talent and wanted to help develop it further. The basketball world spent months debating whether Clark's success was even legitimate or just media hype. The sponsor memo reveals that corporate partners have been tracking social media sentiment around Clark across different sports. Golf-related content consistently generates positive engagement, while basketball posts often devolve into arguments about respect, race, and whether Clark deserves her attention. Brands notice these patterns because they directly impact marketing effectiveness. The numbers don't lie about this trend. Clark's golf appearance generated overwhelmingly positive comments from fans who appreciated seeing her skills celebrated rather than scrutinized. Basketball discussions frequently turn toxic because the sport's leadership never established a clear narrative about embracing their biggest star. Tiger's endorsement carries serious weight in the sports world, and sponsors know it. When the greatest golfer ever calls someone a natural athlete, that creates instant credibility and marketing value. The WNBA never managed to generate this level of organic celebrity support despite having Clark for an entire season. What really seals the deal is how golf personalities treated Clark's crossover attempt as exciting rather than threatening. They saw an opportunity to grow their sports audience instead of protecting some imaginary territory. The basketball establishment could learn something from this welcoming approach, but the leaked memo suggests sponsors aren't holding their breath for change. The corporate frustration becomes clear when comparing how different sports handle star power and cross-promotional opportunities. And then the real fireworks started. Major sponsors began quietly reaching out to Caitlin Clark's representatives about golf partnerships while simultaneously questioning their WNBA commitments. The leaked memo reveals that corporate executives watched Clark's golf debut and immediately started calculating how to pivot their marketing dollars toward opportunities that actually generate positive returns. Nike Golf Division executives were reportedly in contact within hours of Clark's Pro-Am appearance. They saw the viral content, the positive reception, and the massive engagement numbers that the WNBA somehow never managed to create consistently. Corporate partners are tired of funding a league that treats its biggest asset like a problem to manage instead of a solution to embrace. But here's the really damaging part. The memo shows that sponsors have been tracking Clark's marketability across different platforms and sports for months. Golf content consistently outperforms basketball content in every meaningful metric: engagement, positive sentiment, share rates, and brand association value. Corporate executives are questioning why they should continue funding dysfunction when alternatives exist. Callaway reportedly expressed interest in equipment partnerships after seeing Clark's natural swing mechanics. Titleist executives were impressed by her competitive approach and media presence during the golf event. These companies watched Clark generate more positive golf content in one day than many professional golfers manage in entire seasons. The leaked document specifically mentions how golf partnerships offer cleaner brand association opportunities. Corporate partners can promote athletic excellence, competitive spirit, and crossover appeal without dealing with the constant controversy that surrounds WNBA narratives. Sponsors prefer investing in sports that celebrate talent instead of questioning it endlessly. Now get this, the timing couldn't be worse. WNBA sponsorship renewal negotiations are approaching, and corporate partners are using Clark's golf success as leverage in discussions. The memo reveals that brands are threatening to reduce basketball investments unless the league demonstrates better talent management and promotional strategies. Golf equipment companies offer Clark opportunities to showcase athletic versatility and competitive excellence across multiple sports. Basketball partnerships, meanwhile, come with baggage about league politics, player conflicts, and officiating controversies that brands prefer avoiding entirely. entirely. Corporate executives notice these differences when planning marketing campaigns. The sponsor exodus concerns intensify when considering how golf partnerships could expand Clark's earning potential beyond anything the WNBA currently offers. Equipment deals, clinic appearances, and tournament partnerships provide revenue streams that basketball somehow never managed to develop properly despite having an entire season to figure things out. The leaked memo concludes that golf represents everything sponsors want in a partnership: positive content creation, audience expansion opportunities, and clean brand association without political complications. Corporate partners watch the LPGA handle Clark's appearance professionally, while the WNBA continues struggling with basic talent promotion concepts. What makes this situation truly catastrophic is how quickly golf industry leaders recognize Clark's value, while basketball executives spent months downplaying her impact. Sponsors are taking notes about which sports understand marketing fundamentals and which ones create unnecessary obstacles for their own success stories. The final nail in the coffin comes straight from the top. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert called emergency meetings with league executives and major sponsors after Clark's golf appearance broke the internet. The leaked memo reveals that these damage control sessions turned into brutal reality checks about the WNBA's fundamental marketing failures and complete mismanagement of their biggest star. Engelbert reportedly spent hours trying to convince sponsors that Clark's golf debut was just a harmless off-season activity. Corporate partners weren't buying it for 1 second. They watched the LPGA generate massive positive coverage, while the WNBA spent an entire season creating controversy around the same athlete. Sponsors demanded explanations for this organizational incompetence. The emergency meetings got even more uncomfortable. Major brand executives confronted league leadership about their passive approach to player targeting and obvious officiating bias against Clark. The memo shows that corporate partners have been tracking these issues for months, watching their marketing investments get undermined by the league's refusal to protect its most valuable asset properly. Engelbert attempted to downplay the sponsor concerns by promising better promotion strategies for next season. Corporate executives responded by pointing out that the golf world figured out effective Clark promotion in literally 1 day, while basketball leadership fumbled for 8 months straight. The contrast was too obvious to ignore or excuse away with future promises. But here's where things get absolutely brutal. Sponsors presented data showing that Clark's golf content generated more positive engagement than the entire WNBA playoffs combined. These numbers destroyed any argument about league priorities or marketing effectiveness. Corporate partners realized they were funding an organization that actively worked against its own commercial interests. The leaked document reveals that Engelbert's damage control efforts backfired spectacularly when sponsors started questioning basic league competence. Brand executives asked pointed questions about why they should continue partnerships with an organization that couldn't recognize or capitalize on obvious marketing gold. The commissioner had no satisfactory answers. Emergency meetings turned into sponsor intervention sessions where corporate partners essentially demanded organizational changes or threatened partnership terminations. The memo shows that brands are tired of subsidizing dysfunction while watching other sports demonstrate proper talent management and promotional strategies with the same athlete. Engelbert's team attempted to frame Clark's golf success as validation of WNBA player development programs. Sponsors immediately called out this ridiculous spin, noting that golf personalities treated Clark better in 4 hours than basketball figures managed during an entire Rookie of the Year season. The league's credibility took another massive hit. The final memo section delivers the killing blow. Corporate executives concluded that the WNBA's organizational culture actively undermines commercial success and sponsor value creation. They watched Clark thrive when treated with basic professional respect while struggling against systematic targeting that the league refused to address meaningfully. Engelbert's emergency response revealed an organization completely unprepared for star player management or effective sports marketing. Sponsors realized they were partnering with amateurs, while the golf world demonstrated professional standards that actually protect and promote athletic talent properly. The damage control meetings accomplished the exact opposite of their intended purpose. They convinced corporate partners that fundamental changes are necessary or alternative investments make more business sense. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the WNBA sponsor panic and want to see more behind the scenes sports business content, smash that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what other leaked documents you want me to cover next.